Hey, this is Kurt Angle, and I want to give a shout out to the best podcast in the business, Nightcap Recap. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is the Nightcap Recap here up on Full Press Media, Special Team Media as well. I'm your host, Jim Biringer, alongside Teddy Repantis. Guys, thank you so much for everybody subscribing to our new channel up on YouTube as well as Special Team Media, and everybody who listens on Spotify as well. And, of course, the OG clan on the Nightcap Recap on Instagram. We appreciate everybody for doing it. Teddy, what's going on, my man?
What's going on, man? Great to be alive on a Wednesday night this week, recording the Nightcap Recap with you. As always, the highlight of the week right here. We're always ahead of the game. We're for the fans. These aren't just catchphrases, Jimmy. This is what the Nightcap Recap gives you every single week. We're throwing out the little nuggets, the little clips. We appreciate all the support, man.
Yeah, of course, we're always ahead of the game. We're for the fans, unlike WWE, who's not for the fans. Unless some of these people are not for the fans, all about clickbait and all this stuff. That's fine. Somebody said I had clickbait on one of my articles. I'm like, it's not. It's just true facts. But you guys just don't read anything. You just read headlines. But when people watch the program, they understand that we're always ahead of the game. And look, we talked about it last week with Jeremy, but we got to talk about it again. NFL schedule releases. We're going to do some live stuff, but everything, it was crazy. The thing is, the schedules all didn't come out at the same time. Some clever videos. I think it was the Colts who came out with The Simpsons. That was really good.
Yeah, that was well done.
That was well done. I like the clever releases. Minnesota did a pretty good one as well. But the NFL schedules here, before we know it, college football and NFL are going to be here.
Yeah, and the biggest thing that stood out to me, Jimmy, we've been talking about it. Look, the NFL put its stamp on Christmas Day a couple of years ago now with the Netflix deal. And now they've seemingly taken over an entire holiday weekend with Thanksgiving Eve this year, Thanksgiving Day, Black Friday, and then your usual weekend games on Sunday and Monday, the Monday Night Football. So the NFL is going to reign supreme for that week of November. I mean, this is what happens when we get this far into the year anyway. The NFL is at the top with college football right there. So that's the biggest thing that stood out to me. The more international games, as we've talked about and discussed many times, they're just going to keep adding them. For those that are not a fan of this, I'm sorry. They're just going to keep adding these games. I know the West Coasters don't like it. I like waking up at 8 a.m., I make my coffee, I make my breakfast, I pop on NFL Network, and there's a game going on in London. I'm cool with that. I like it. I'm fine with it.
I'm going to say this. When I was out in California, when the start of college football season happened, I got up and I turned the television on and football was on, so I didn't care.
Right. I mean, if this is going to be the case going forward, we got a Christmas Day triple header. I mean, another big one on top of the Thanksgiving triple header that we get. New Year's Eve is going to have a game. So
we got Christmas Eve now has a game. They're sabotaging holidays right now.
They've taken over every holiday here, and this is the NFL's world, and we're just living in it. It's just the way the calendar fell this year. This is how it's going to work out. So, I mean, look, there's a huge docket of games that we could get into, but that's what stood out to me, Jimmy, like the international games, the big primetime games. The Rams obviously getting 7 primetime games this year. The NFL has a big belief in this team making a deep postseason run.
It's also an LA market.
It's an LA market. It's Matt Stafford's last run. The Rams were probably outside of the Seahawks, obviously the best team in the conference. So the NFL thinks that
the 49ers aren't one of the best teams in the conference?
I mean, yeah, of course they are. I'm always going to say that. The Niners, I'm not going to go on my conspiracy rant. That's not my thing.
No.
I need to call Drew in for that, our buddy Drew.
No, I will say, when you texted me the schedule,
yeah,
I find it a little strange that the Niners did not get the same amount of time off as the Rams did.
Yeah, we're playing week 1 in Australia. Look, it's a Rams home game, quote unquote. It's a Rams home game in Australia. You would think both teams are going to get that extra day and play on Monday in week 2. The Rams are getting that game in week 2, but the Niners got to play a Sunday game. So the Rams getting the benefit of an extra 24 hours rest. And then the Niners also have to go to Mexico City this year. And they're the most traveled team this year by mileage, by air miles. They are traveling the most of any team. So I'm going to throw it out there and say Roger Goodell, NFL conspiracy against the Niners.
Absolutely, 100%. Remember last year we had the conspiracy theory against the Eagles. So
Yeah,
we're bringing so that's for
bring
Drew.
it back.
Look, I looked at this. Look, one of our guys, Simon Salikas, big Bears fan. Like his team plays on some of these holidays too, and he's just like, there goes the holidays. Gonna have to talk to the family about this because Bears are playing a couple of times. They got the Packers on Christmas Day, right? They got to play the Lions on Thanksgiving, and we hope the Lions are a little bit better. But look, we got some big, conference games on these holidays. It's not just like some. I mean, you hope by the time these games roll around, these teams are actually good because
no injuries. Let's hope for no injuries.
Right, like you look at it, right? Like Baltimore and Cincinnati on New Year's Eve, which kind of kills the college football playoff because whatever. Yeah. But like Rams at Seahawks should be a pretty decent game on Christmas. Bills at Broncos should be a really good game on Christmas. Packers and Bears should be another good game. And the game before, the Texans with that elite defense against the Eagles, and the Eagles should be better, and the Chiefs should be better. Like there are a lot of quality football games on the holidays this year.
No, absolutely, and I think the Bears, that's a good team to bring up, Jimmy, because a lot of people, strength of schedule wise, the Bears actually have the hardest schedule, and there is a statistic out there for teams that go into the year with the tougher schedules, they kind of struggle. Like the numbers actually prove out and show that, if you statistically have the harder schedule based on last year's results, obviously, you start out pretty weak, and the Bears fall into that category of potentially. Look, we expect big things from them because of what they did this past year. Caleb took the next step. They almost shocked the world, right, and almost went to the Super Bowl. But the Bears could have a trap season here if you look at their schedule, where some of those primetime games are and how everything falls for them. So they're a team that their expectations now, are they going to live up to it? Let's hope, like you said, by the time some of these games roll around for Chicago, that they're in the mix, and I think they will be. I think the Bears are going to answer the bell. Look, it's going to be a tough schedule, but I think teams got to play them too. They're not they're no rollovers, pushovers. So I like what the Bears, like you said, Thanksgiving Day, classic game with the Detroit Lions. That's always going to be a big one. And then they're playing Christmas Day against Green Bay, like you said. So two big on the big cornerstone holidays that the Bears are going to be showcased to the whole world.
I mean, they do have a relative. I'm just looking at their schedule right now. Eagles, Vikings. I mean, Jets are Jets.
Their whole division's always a gauntlet. The whole NFC North.
Yeah, they're not. And then you throw in the champs, the Pats, the Bucks, the Saints, Bills. It is a gauntlet.
It's a gauntlet for the Bears, right? I mean, it's going to be tough to replicate what they just did the last year. So,
I mean. Look, in the international schedule, you brought it up. You said you had the international schedule pulled up for you?
I can get it for you. Yeah, I had look, I said the Niners and the Rams.
Let's stay with the Giants. Let's stay with the Giants for a minute. Stay with the Giants for a minute and just stay with these divisional schedules. I'm looking at the Giants schedule right now. And I was listening to Harbaugh the other day, and he was saying this. Look, he goes, I don't care what happened in the past. I'm coming in here to win.
That's right.
And I like that attitude. Not going to be easy. Let's be honest here. Got Cowboys open the season. Go to the Rams. Titans and Cardinals, those should be wins. Commanders, you could split. Saints,
we don't know what we're getting with the Saints.
We don't have no idea. Should be a W, right? Should be.
I'll tell you what, Jimmy. Look, if you want to say the Giants are going to start out 0-2, I'll give you that. I think they're going to give Dallas a run. The Rams will be tough. But after that, like you just said, Titans, Cardinals, Commanders, Saints, I could see them going 3-1 in that stretch. Split with the Commanders and Saints, beat the Titans and the Cardinals. Cardinals are going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL this year. So I know you're going to have that revenge game for Brian Dable with Tennessee and Saleh, right? Those two guys, right? But I think if the Giants can start your season at 3-4 before you get to the bye, you're probably like, all right, let's see what we can do after the bye.
Or 4-3, you never know.
Yeah, 4-3, 3-4. Look, you got the Eagles, always going to be tough. Jags are going to be tough. Colts, I think that's a winnable game. The Niners, like I said, I'll be realistic with the Niners this year. I'm not going to say they take a step back. They're still going to be tough. But
that'd be a tough game.
You might get them in a spot where, look, Kittle's not back yet. They're kind of like middling. The Niners are at home. The Browns, that could be a winnable game. So I think the Giants.
I'm already putting an L. Even though Seahawks are going to take a step back, Giants don't play well in Seattle. Get blown.
No, they don't.
They play hard. They play horrible. And But if I realistically look at it, they have some tough opponents, but realistically, they have games that are winnable. Do I think they're a playoff team? No. But again, new attitude, winning guys coming in here, better decision makers. This team could take some steps.
Jimmy, if we said last year, how many games did the Giants have that no one expected them to win, right? And they were right there, and there was like 5 games last year, right? That things turned. We could look at 5 different games and be like,
I mean,
they should have won.
The one off the top, besides the Denver game, the Dallas game, week 2 or whatever,
Denver
with Russ, like they should have won that game. Like if the defense played anywhere up to average, they would have won games where they had leads, and they would have lost.
Chicago, they should have beat Chicago. Another one.
That's 3 right there. There's probably a few others that people in the chat comments will be like, yeah, this game. Yeah, they should have, because their defense couldn't stop anybody.
Exactly. So if we're saying they were competitive there, and we think they're going to be better this year because of A, coaching, B, the development and the evolution of Jackson Dart, Scatterbo coming back, Neighbors coming back. So
the Viking game, they should have won. One of the Commanders games, they should have won.
Yep.
They played the Lions tough. They should have won. They played Green Bay tough. That was another game.
And the only silver lining of losing all those games, Jimmy, is they got those 2 top 10 picks that bring in really talented players, and you're going to reload and be much more competitive. So although you can look at the schedule this year and say, hey, it's going to be tough to find 7 to 9 wins, the Giants are going to be playing better and more competitively. So that should put them in a position to, if it's a 50-50 game late, that they have an opportunity to steal a game or 2. The division games are always tough. They beat the Eagles last year.
I know.
So like I feel like you could just say it's a split with the division like you always do, and then pick and choose your games from there. So if they can somehow find a way to, Jacksonville's no slouch. So look, Jags and Colts aren't going to be easy.
AW Jags.
AW Jags, right. So I agree. I think, look, the Giants will be better. What we're looking for is more competitive and finishing games that they should have won a year ago. That's what I'm looking for.
That's what I'm looking for, too. What's the Niners schedule looking like on your end?
Yeah, Niners schedule, right? Another one. Look, we'll just say again off the bat, split the division games, right? I mean, that's what we're looking at. So, look, they got Miami early. I expect that to be a win. They got Denver at home in week 4.
Tough game,
That's going to be tough. Denver coming in there. And then Commanders. So I think right there, if you say split the division games, I think the Niners can go about 6-3. And then we're looking at the rest of the schedule. At Atlanta's probably the one. Atlanta and the Giants. So those are the 2 games where they're going to have to travel to the East Coast. Now, historically, they've been okay under Shanahan, traveling to the East. They've been pretty good against the Giants. I think they're going to have a tougher time this year. I think one of the Falcons or Giants games, they might drop one there. Just pick which one it is. They might lose. They'll go 50-50 there. The Raiders, I expect them to beat the Raiders at home. And then Dallas, who they've owned the last couple of years, but we think Dallas will be better. That's going to be a key game in the season to probably determine, I'm not going to say like a division lead, but that could be a playoff spot up for grabs late in the year against Dallas in November. And then they got to host Minnesota as well, who we don't know. Look, Minnesota, familiar face with Kyler Murray, the quarterback now. But I don't know. I'm not sold on Minnesota with their whole situation. So I think the Niners could win that game. So looking at that schedule, and then they got the Chargers late. And they got the Chiefs late. They got Philly late. So it's going to be some tough games late.
But they should be a playoff team.
They should be a playoff game. I got them at worst case scenario, 10-11 wins. I could see 12. I could find my way to 12. But Eagles coming into at worst
10. At worst is 10.
And the Eagles coming in there late in the year. I can't wait because last year we didn't play them. We'll play them in the playoffs. Beat them in the playoffs. Obviously, we ended their season, which was sweet. But they always chirp and talk. And the last couple of years, the Niners have ended their season. So I'll be happy to watch that happen again. This time in Levi's, not in Philly. In Levi's in San Francisco.
In Levi's. And then we talk about the international schedule, obviously, 49ers and Rams. Then we got in Brazil, Ravens and Cowboys should be a pretty good game, right?
Yes, I got the schedule right up here. Yes, I think Ravens and Cowboys, that's a marquee game they put in Brazil. I love that. They're getting a good game out there. The Colts and the Commanders. Look, we know it's whatever. The Jags are going to do their classic stay out in London, weeks 5 and 6. Philly and the Texans traveling in weeks 5 and 6 to London to face the Jags. Those are not easy games for the Jaguars.
No,
but they'll have the benefit. They'll have the benefit of spending 2 to 3 weeks in London. So maybe that helps them, the AEW Jags. You got the Steelers and the Saints in France. That's going to be an interesting. Yeah,
I feel bad for them. Do I though? No,
I don't know. Steelers fans are that's going to be a Steelers home game. Let's face it. I mean, they travel everywhere. Bengals and Falcons in Madrid. That could be by that time that rolls around. You got the Pats and the Lions in Germany. That should be good, but I expect the Pats to have the Super Bowl hangover this year. And then Mexico City, Vikings and the Niners, right? Late in the year. I expect Penta to be there, to be hanging out with George Kittle at that game.
I expect a lot of wrestling involvement there. Yeah, I mean, they got a lot of good games on there as well. You said you had, we were talking off air, you said you had a top 10 list of games this year?
Well, here's what, this is off NFL.com's. I could give you the list of their top primetime games here. Let me see. I got off of it for a second. All right, so Rams and Broncos is a big one.
Yep.
Because that's a game that people thought could have been the Super Bowl last year, right?
Right.
We know Denver blew that game with the quarterback situation and Peyton not taking the field goal and then the weather. We know what happened there, right? So Pats and Seahawks, the Super Bowl rematch is on this list.
Yep.
Like I said, I think the Pats are going to experience that Super Bowl hangover.
Right.
I think Seattle's going to put on a show in week 1.
Yep.
You mentioned it. Ravens, Bengals, New Year's Eve, that's going to be a big one. Lions and the Bills, Thursday night, September 17th, week 2. That's if we expect the Lions to bounce back and be the team that we thought they were. Rodgers, like we said, he's calling it his last year, right? That's what Rodgers is saying.
So
we're going to get playoff rematch with the Texans, week 13.
They'll get smoked. They're going to get smoked. I'm telling you right now, Texans are smoking them. Like
I think they are.
Like no disrespect to Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers, and I think they were a good tandem in Green Bay, brought success, the whole 9 yards. Aaron Rodgers is 40. He's looked like a 40-something-year-old quarterback the last couple of years. He doesn't look good. And if you want the Steelers to just get to the playoffs and lose, just start the rebuild and get Will Howard or somebody else in there.
It's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. I think it's going to get bad this year.
They ain't making a play. I'm putting my foot that they're not making the playoffs.
They're not. I think Rodgers is going to be very mediocre. He's going to get hurt, and it's going to be a disaster of a year. That's what I'm predicting there. But on top, I'll throw out 2 more. We said the Bills and the Chiefs are always a big one every single year.
Always a big one.
Because now Mahomes is back, so that's a Thanksgiving game. And then Bears traveling to Seattle, Monday night game.
That'll be a good game.
Early test for Caleb Williams. Bears, what are you? Show us what you got. You were going to be a team that could have been in a conference championship, and you blew it against the Rams. I mean, let's see you go against the Super Bowl champs and see what happens. So some really good primetime games this year. And I'm excited just talking about it, Jimmy. I can't wait for when we get closer.
That's the bread and butter. That's the
bread and butter of the show, man.
That's the bread and butter besides wrestling. And we killed it last year. We're going to kill it again this year. Obviously, some college football talk as well. A lot of great games.
For sure.
And go check out the episode. Jeremy and I talk about it. No 2014 playoff. No 2014 playoff. We don't need participation trophies and mediocre teams and everybody had a seat at the table. Like, you got to earn your seat to the dance. You got to play the right way. I like it exclusive. I'd rather still have 4 teams. I get 12. I don't want any more than that. Like 16, okay. Like, then you get 2 rounds on college. Anything more than that is a disgrace to the regular season and to the disgrace to the game.
I agree, Jimmy. I think it's overkill when you get that deep into it. I mean, come on now. Like
look at college basketball, 76 teams. Like,
they're adding more teams. Why are we even having a regular season? Just have a tournament every year.
Yeah, but then why should coaches get 5-year contracts? Because eventually, like, if you don't make the tournament, you should be fired immediately.
Agreed. 76 teams out of how many teams there are out there?
100 and something teams. Like, come on.
What are we doing out here?
And the games are not good. The quality sucks. And the 8-4 teams and the 7-5 team that get into this 2014 playoff are going to get blown out in the first 2 rounds, and it's going to be non-competitive.
Yeah, why do we want to watch non-competitive football? It makes no sense to me.
Why is the NFL playoff so great? It's competitive football. The best teams are there vying for the title. Winning a championship is supposed to be hard.
It's supposed to, you're supposed to go through the gauntlet and go through hell to get there. And you're just letting everybody in this. Yeah, now you might get your one-off where a lower team picks somebody up, but most of the time, no. They're
Not
just
in
going to get blown
football.
out. Not in college football. The better teams are blowing the bad teams out every single time, right?
Right, exactly. I don't want load management and all this stuff. So anyway, that's my little rant on that. But we got to switch to the local scene. New York Knicks, the Knickerbockers, big time comeback. Yes, even before hockey talk, people, because the Knicks, they're killing it. We said it last week. Title or bust. Danhausen throwing the curses on the Cavs now.
The curse is real, man.
Bro, first of all, we got to talk about this. I'm not a big basketball guy. I mean, I played a little bit like before high school and like in grammar school.
Yeah, we play pickup basketball, man.
But Teddy, tell the audience, what's the point of a timeout?
To draw up the best play for the next.
Besides that,
rest for your players that are tired, that have not had a rest,
and kill momentum of another team.
Yes, the 2 big points right there.
The 2 big points, bro. You have 4 timeouts, 2 of which go away at the 3-minute mark.
Right. And to come out and say,
And your team is getting the team has gone on an 8-0 run, nothing. 12-0 run, nothing. And the Knicks just kept running the same play, exploding James Harden to tie the game. And then, and as you said, to come out and say I was holding them for something later in the game. Bro, you allowed the Knicks to just keep running the same play over and over again.
Yeah, dude, I saw the Twitter highlight. It literally was 12 straight possessions. Jalen Brunson just was headhunting James Harden. This pick and roll on James Harden, we're just going to attack you, and you can't play defense, and we're scoring every single time. And it was unbelievable that Coach Kenny, and I was a big proponent of Kenny Atkinson when he was the Brooklyn Nets head coach before Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant got there. He was a really good coach with that team, coaching the young kids. They were making runs. I mean, I don't know what the logic is to say that I don't like using my timeouts. I mean, your team
saving them for potential challenges, buddy.
Unbelievable.
Dude, you're seeing a team go on a run. Slow the game down. For a team that's just played a Game 7 the other night.
Game 7, yeah.
They look tired. They need rest.
Yeah. And Donovan, I don't understand.
And you could draw up a play. Like you could and you could bring it like Brunson had 5 fouls. You're telling me in a timeout you can't say go. And like we're not even talking about on the offensive side of the ball right now where they couldn't even make a shot. They had guys in that game that came out and they couldn't even sub them back in that were dominating the Knicks that built up a 22-point lead.
Yeah, it was unbelievable that they just allowed that to happen and we're not taking any timeouts. And Donovan Mitchell, Spider Mitchell, one of the reasons the Cavs have been a successful team, where is he to say, hey, give me the ball, demand the ball, you take the ball up? Why are we letting James Harden and these other undercard guys, Max Strus, take the ball? Like Donovan Mitchell should have imposed his will there and said, I'm making the play here. This is a guy like the Cavs the Knicks were going to trade for before Jalen Brunson got there. There were talks of Donovan Mitchell being traded to this team. It didn't happen. It worked out better for both teams, I think. But Donovan Mitchell should have been in a situation there where he said, I'm taking over here, run a play for me. James Harden is getting exposed, and you didn't do it, and I don't understand it. That's a type of game that's going to kill your momentum and your psyche going into a game 2. I think for basketball, this kind of thing carries over a little more.
I'm going to call it right now. It's like losing a double overtime or a triple overtime game in hockey. If you lose that first game, that double overtime, triple overtime game, it carries over into the rest of the series. This is done in 4.
Jimmy, after that, I'm with you, man. I might say 5 to be nice.
5 to be nice.
But after last night, I don't know if the Cavaliers have it in them anymore.
If they had taken game 1 up 22, I'd have been like, all right, here we go. We got a series.
Here we go.
It's the Game 7. They have the momentum. Knicks with the rust. You lose a game like that, you lose it in overtime. No, it's over. Done.
And that's what happened to the Knicks. Yeah, and that's what
So
happened to the Knicks last year with the Pacers. Halliburton stole that first game with that shot in game 1. The Knicks were winning that game.
We were watching that game at the
We were
Santa
out watching that game.
Rose.
Yeah, a year ago today, I think. It was a year
Dude,
ago.
they were up what, like 15 with like 5 left or something?
Yeah, and then Pacers stormed back. The game-winning shot. Well, I think that went to OT also.
Yeah.
It might have went to OT, and then Halliburton hits the miracle shot, and they steal game 1, and the Knicks were never able to recover because it lingered for the rest of the series. So I think this is it for the Cavs. And some historical stuff here. NBA teams were 3-747 when down by 20 or more in the fourth quarter of a playoff game over the last 30 years. The Knicks became the 4th team to win that. Came back 22 down in the fourth quarter, second largest fourth quarter comeback in the playoffs since 1997. This is the largest comeback in Knicks playoff history in their entire history. And again, we already said it, 12 straight possessions ran right at James Harden. Go find the clip on Twitter. It was all over the place. It was unbelievable. They broke all sorts of records. The Garden was going crazy. All the celebrities were there. Go New York, go New York, go. This is awesome, man. Like, great for the locals. I'm happy to see it. I am a Nets fan, but this Knicks team is something special. This feels different, I think. And that comeback proves that they're doing what they did all year long, Jimmy. This is what they've done all year. Jalen Brunson comeback. This is what they do. So
I mean, I'll say this. I mean, what a comeback.
Yeah.
We said it, title or bust. It feels like they could get to the NBA championship this year. It really, really does.
They're going to get there, and I know you put it out in that clip. You said they got to win this thing, and it's not going to be easy because Wembanyama on the other side. Victor Wembanyama, how he's looking.
Dude, he's unbelievable, Wemby. What he's doing right now, like, unbelievable.
Yeah, game 1, I believe he had 42, 20 rebounds, a double OT game, a game they stole home court, the Spurs did. Unbelievable. He's only 22 years old. We never seen a guy his size do what he's doing, so it's special to watch. And OKC right now definitely needs this game. They're about to go to halftime. They're up 9. So we got a whole second half to go.
That's nothing. By the time you listen to this, the Spurs could come back and win this game.
Exactly. So I fully expect this could be a 7-game series. Like, I feel like this Western Conference Finals will go deep. The Knicks might be sitting and waiting, and we're going to get a good NBA Finals. But shout out to our friends who listen to this that are Knicks fans. Emmer, I got a couple other buddies. Dan, you guys know who you are. Rob, big Knicks fan. Doing something special we haven't seen in a long time for those guys.
I mean, look, I was on a national radio show last week on Friday. They asked me about, like, they asked me about the Knicks, and they're like, "Oh, you're a big Knicks guy." I'm like, "I'm not a big Knicks guy. I was a Spurs guy."
Right.
They're like, "Yo, you saw a lot of winning," but I shouted everybody out at the end because it's good for the city when the Knicks are playing well. Like, it really is. You can see it when all the sports teams are doing well, but the Knicks have not done anything in 53 years. Like, one. Like,
they got into a couple finals.
Like, you said it though. This team feels different. It feels different than the Oakley and the Ewing and the Starks teams. Like, it's a sense like this team can win. Those teams, I don't know what it was. It just felt like, they can get there, but I don't know if they have what it takes to win.
Yeah, they were just missing something. This team has it, and it all starts with Jalen Brunson. The Knicks got so lucky to get this kid, and for him to become what he's become, he's put the city on his back. And Karl Anthony Towns, finally blossoming into the player we know he could be. And this all started, I think, in that Atlanta Hawks series when they said, "Hey, we made a game plan change." The offense was running strictly through Brunson. Cat said, "Let's run it through me so Brunson can get a breather and be a little more open," and that's what they've been doing. Cat's been the focal point. It's allowed Jalen Brunson to do his thing, and the rest of the guys, OG, Josh Hart, just to make their big shots and play. Mikal Bridges playing great defensively. So I think these Knicks got something special. And like I always say, enjoy it because you never know. Like, next year, this might not happen. So you don't know how often you're going to get this opportunity.
Well, that's why perfect segue here because what do you think the people in Montreal are doing right? They're enjoying it. The Canadians, another Game 7, Alex Newhook off to the Eastern Conference Final, overtime. And like Buffalo fans, again, they're sports teams. I mean, Bills. Problem is you can't put the Sabres in the same category because over the last 15 years, the Bills have just like broke your heart every year. The Sabres just got back to the playoffs and just broke your heart.
Yeah,
but it's good for these teams and these franchises to see it, especially like the Sabres, who haven't seen playoff hockey in 15 years. But the Canadians, they're embracing it. They're just rolling with it. And the fans, after they won, they set off a mini earthquake in Montreal. Like, that's ridiculous.
That tells you right there how passionate they are, man.
They breathe it. It's a religion. It's unbelievable at the Bell Center. It was a great 7-game series. They're off to the Eastern Conference Final. Again, heartbreak for Buffalo sports fans. I love everybody up there. Great city, great sports market, but damn, man, the heartbreak those teams have gone through.
Yeah, and I got my coworker Mike. I'll shout him out. Buffalo guy, Bills fan, Sabres fan, was watching it, and I know we're talking hockey now. He did have something he wanted me to throw out here in the podcast. Also, a Nets fan like me. He just wanted to say we should get a free pass here to enjoy the Knicks playoff run. He has some family members that said, no, we can't support the Knicks. Don't be like that. Enjoy the other local team. Your team might be out. And here's the thing. The Nets have done nothing to showcase to their fans that they support the fan base, and we're going to put a winning product out there. So if it was a different situation where the Nets were competitive with the Knicks, I'd say, okay, I don't want to see my rival win. The Nets are not relevant.
No. It's also different. It's not like you're a Yankees fan and you're like, oh, like everybody's like, oh,
I can't see the Mets.
Like when the Mets went on that World Series run, I wanted the Royals to win because
right.
I'm not rooting for the Mets. Like, you can't root for the Mets. It's like if the Jets were doing something, and the Giants were bad for like ever, and the Jets were like pretty good and could win a Super. I'd be like, all right, I gotta be happy for Jets fans. Because they haven't seen anything since '69.
So we can enjoy this playoff run. We're giving you permission to enjoy it. But, and I want to ask you back to the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina, 11 days off, right, Jimmy?
Well, we're seeing it now.
Is that too long?
Too long for me.
Okay.
Most it's been, I've heard, is like 9, 10, 11 days. Like, this is the most time off since 1919. Like, we're going back.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, like, we're going back a while here.
Wow.
But you're seeing it here. Obviously, Colorado, Vegas, Western Conference Final ongoing. It's 2-0 Vegas as we record. No Cale Makar in this game makes a huge difference for the Colorado Avalanche. Everything from their offense starts from the back end, but they've had about a week off. Vegas wrapped it up a little bit a couple of days after them. So the rest and rust is a thing. Like, let's be honest here. Montreal just played Game 7 on Monday night. Carolina's been off for 12 days. I expect Montreal to come out playing like it's Game 7 Thursday night. Like, I really do. Like, I don't know. Like, the joke has been, like, Carolina could have gone over to the World Championships, played a couple of games, and been back in the series. Still hasn't started yet. Like,
historically, has this been in the Stanley Cup playoffs? Have you seen this be an effect for the team that has the long layoff? Like, has it impacted games?
The numbers that don't lie going in the conference finals.
Yeah.
They only have, like, I think, well, Carolina, I know for a fact, there was that wacky year in 2019 where teams swept. The next series, they got swept. And so, like, yeah, I think the numbers are something like 7-1. The team that swept the previous series, they've lost.
Yeah, the first game or the series? They lost the series.
They lost the series.
Wow, okay.
That long a time. I mean, 12 days off is a long time. You can't
really
simulate practice. You can't simulate game play in practice. Though the Carolina Hurricanes, this team feels a little different. But if Montreal is going to come out and play their game and grind some games out and play differently and look to play like they get in their face, get in front of Freddie Anderson, then yeah. And goals go in, they're going to have a belief. But Carolina is a different machine. It's a step up in competition. They're going to be ready to go. It's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see the Canadians doing something here.
My heart hopes to see Montreal in the final. I always like to see the Canadian teams make the final. I just think that Carolina's just a step up in competition. But you can't discount the Canadians because of the road they went through. Tampa, Buffalo, two tough teams. Carolina, you could say, had an easier schedule. Ottawa. But again, everybody thought Ottawa would give them a fight. Philly wasn't really a fight.
Mhm.
Montreal can grind them out. I know regular season doesn't mean anything, but 3-0 over Carolina in the regular season's got to count for something. It's gonna be a good series. I hope Montreal gets there. It just feels like it, but we'll see.
Yeah, exciting stuff, man. Always good when an original six or a Canadian team is in there, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's great to see like a Canadian team, original six. The markets just do well. Vegas and like Colorado battle. It's a battle right now.
I got that on right now since we got halftime in the NBA, and yeah, Vegas is up 2-0 right now.
Yeah, so I mean, look, I like Montreal. Like I think Carolina is probably the better team. I think we could get a Carolina Vegas Stanley Cup final, but I'm not discounting like the Montreal Canadiens. You can't discount the Hurricanes either. But I think if people are just gonna brush them to the side, you've not watched any Stanley Cup playoffs, and you have not watched this team the whole year play.
Right.
There's a thing called heart and desire. You can't measure it.
You can't.
They just
Absolutely
don't go away. They just don't go away. It's ridiculous.
That's something to be said about teams like that, right? I mean, there's something special about them.
When teams don't go away, yeah. I mean, look, they can't keep getting outshot and expecting to like win games like that. Yeah. And if you're up against 2-0 against Carolina and you think you're going to sit back, that's the wrong game plan because that allows them to get their game going and then it's over. Then they win the game. So they got to be smart about it.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
So that's our little wrap up on the sports world. A little fun that we always do here. And then we're going to bring it to the wrestling world because apparently Brock Lesnar is not retired, Lefty.
He's not. If you watch Monday night, Obafemi went out there for the challenge. I mean, it was one of those, oh my God, holy moments like that. Yeah. You're like, I was texting all you guys because I look, as a wrestling fan, I always say we want to be surprised. We don't want to know we don't want to be advertised about what's going to happen.
Right.
We all thought the way Brock Lesnar put his boots, his gloves in the middle of the ring of WrestleMania, signal to the crowd, this was it. Paul Heyman was crying. Look, they're selling thank you Brock shirts like Jeremy and I talked about on the Rock and Roll channel. For all intents, Brock was retired. What the backstory was more money thrown his way by TKO. Was he lulled back in saying, hey, low ticket sales in Italy, we need a big name for this big event that we're having? Or was this a work from the beginning? Something tells me that I think money might have been a factor here, and maybe he was convinced that, hey, look, we thought the plans were going to be Brock was still sticking around for the rest of the year, and he threw a curveball to them at WrestleMania, and now they're like, no, you know what? We need you back. We need to sell tickets. I get it. In a way, the reason I do like it is because we're going to see Oba be a little vulnerable here and have to go climb a mountain now, and perhaps we get 3 matches out of this. But all in all, look, I like being surprised. Whether you are a fan of faking a retirement or not, I know Jeremy is not. Jimmy, love to hear your thoughts. I know you're not. I enjoyed when Mark Henry did what he did, but he didn't put the boots in the ring. He didn't do the whole 9 yards, and that's it. Like, we're making T-shirts. It was just a segment. Brock actually made people think he was done. But the actual moment in the segment was cool because Oba was posing. Brock's silhouette from the back, 4 F5s sitting there laughing at him, and you see Oba just couldn't believe it, shocked. The fans were into it. They were pumped. Just an oh my God moment with that I enjoyed. But really curious on what the backstage inner workings on this was.
Yeah, I mean, look, you texted me that. I was in the middle of Game 7, and I was just responding like dumb as you know what. Because I don't like it. You gave us this again. This is what TKO is now.
Yeah,
it's about moments. It's not about matches. It doesn't matter. Like Brock doing it his way and saying screw Minneapolis and SummerSlam. This is when I want to retire. Great. It was a moment. But don't put a video for all intents and purposes. The company thought he was retired. Thank you, Brock. Video packages, shirts, all this stuff. And now he's just back like you. But there's no explanation to it. It's just like he's back. It's like, oh yeah, he's still retired and he's got a contract.
And he signed a contract, but he's retired.
He's retired. It's like, but why? What was it? But so the old lion was mad that the young lion came in and beat him up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get the game plan. And so are we having a trilogy out of this thing? Because if we are, I don't agree with Brock Lesnar coming back and getting a win back from Obafemi. Like, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it.
I'm with you, Jimmy, because you kind of, like you just said, you had the moment. The moment was Oba, the upstart, shocks the world, beats Brock in pretty quick fashion, dominantly, and Brock just bows out, never to be seen from again. That was the perfect moment. End scene. And now you kind of like, you spoiled it a little bit, but if you're going to spoil it like this, we need the story. I also don't like him getting a win back. And if it's just Oba beats him again and that's it, it's over, okay. If it's to make Oba seem vulnerable and like he has to climb another mountain, why didn't you have a plan for Oba post-WrestleMania? I mean, like, I know the only thing here is to go up and fight Roman. So, okay, I guess it makes it seem like we have to show that Oba can also, like, be beaten, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
you don't beat a made guy. Yeah, but you don't beat a made guy right now because he just got made at WrestleMania.
He's a made guy. He's a made guy right now.
Like, so put him in the title. So this is what I would have done. I would have had the rematch with Cody because Oba and Cody fought at that Saturday night's main event, right?
Yeah, and we didn't have a winner. Yeah,
we didn't have a winner. We have the match again, but you still have the same outcome.
Hey, look, Gunther is now on SmackDown, so now he's going after Cody, right?
But what I'm saying is you could have had – that could have been a shift to –
Oh, it could have been. It could have – you could have shifted to that right after Mania. But right. They didn't do it. They didn't do it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, you could have shifted it to Mania, after Mania. I like the fact that Royce Keys was added to the thing because I think that's something that they needed to do.
Yeah, no, I first I was kind of tepid on him coming in. I feel like he wasn't getting a good response, but I think they did a good job with throwing him in the mix with Gunther and Cody to get the fans behind him. So I think they got something good going. I'll say this, they're doing a better job with getting the next stars ready at this point. Trick is set up, Oba's being set up, Javon Evans being set up, Jacob Fatu, Braun Breaker. The future's looking good. Sometimes, though, the way they get there with certain things, I don't know if it's a power struggle.
But the issue is you can't just keep doing the Daniel Bryan treatment and just like keep beating guys. Oh, we need a story. No, you don't.
It seems like they're afraid to have guys lose. I feel like sometimes.
Okay,
like,
then there's a thing called
the time limit.
There's a thing called the time limit.
But Jimmy, you and Drew and I always talk about this. How many times did Bret Hart lost? Like The Rock lost.
He lost.
These guys
Bret lost.
Yeah.
Bret, as an early singles guy, lost.
Lost a lot. The Rock always put guys over. I mean, it never hurt their star power. If you believe this guy's a star, taking a loss should not hurt them. So it seems like either with Oba, it's a holding pattern. It's like, hey, let's get us to SummerSlam.
But then that's horrible planning.
It's horrible planning. Or, as Jeremy might have suggested, is there a power struggle? Is TKO just saying, hey, we need Brock for this show. You figure it out. You book the story, but we need him there, and we're dropping him in. And Trips has no say over it. If that's the case, then he's handcuffed, I guess. I don't know.
But then you figure it out. Then if I'm Triple H, I'm saying, Brock, buddy, you're not going over again.
Right, you're not going over. Oba's my new guy here. He's my new baby that I'm pushing to the top here, right?
Right, exactly. And we figure out SummerSlam another way. But then, but whose fault is that then? Like, if there's a real power struggle, whose fault is that? TKO's fault because we're driving ticket prices to obscene amounts to drive the fans away. Oh, and then when they don't come to the they go to these international events. They've seen them already. Now you jack the prices up again to come back around. We don't need to go.
Yeah, they are loading this card up. We're getting Roman Jacob. We're getting Cody Gunther. We're getting Brock Oba, obviously, at this point. So
do you think
they're
Gunther
loading
wins
it up.
The title?
I don't know, Jimmy. I feel like if he wins the title, like Cody's just hot caking the belt. We're okay with this, I guess, with the quick title reigns now. But I don't think he wins it just yet. I think Cody retains one more time, and then I think before SummerSlam.
I know there was some theories that it was like Gunther wins the title, Oba, and then Brock wins to set up a title match for Brock and Gunther at SummerSlam.
I don't know if I guess. I don't know if I'm on board with that. I love Brock, but come on now. Is Cody and Roman really going away for whatever amount of time it is to do the press for Street Fighter? That's not till October. So I think they're going to be around. I think they'll be around. I think you need to keep the belts on Cody and Roman.
And Gunther, and if the plan is Gunther and Brock, you don't need a title.
You don't need the title. I don't know if that's what we're going to get now, Gunther and Brock. Is Brock just doing this as a one-off? The thing is, we don't know. So this is the one thing I'll say, okay, they're kayfabing us in a different way nowadays. This was good. Nobody expected this. This was not promoted. Brock is seen backstage. We're in Greensboro, North Carolina. Like, nobody expects Brock to just show up and attack Oba. So I'll give him the kudos, the pat in the back for that. I'll say that. And the other thing I'll Barry Horowitz myself that Jeremy said I should do is Randy Orton, severe back injury. That's why he's been out. I said it when we watched the match, Jimmy. I said, this guy's back is not good.
But we also talked about it on the pre-show when we did our recording for Mania. We said we all figured, we all thought that Randy was going to win, but you were like, well, the reports are he has a back injury, so does that change things?
It could be a real thing, and it's been a real thing, and he's resting up to come back and try to get number 15. So I think we're going to get more of Cody and Orton later this year. So that's why I expect Cody to continue to be the champ here. I don't think Gunther wins it just yet. So we'll see. I think, look, they're loading that card, and I think if they want to be on par with the Puerto Rico and the France shows of the years past, this Italy show needs to be big. This is why they're doing it with Lesnar.
And no more free-for-all on ESPN. No more.
You're not a fan of that, right?
No, I don't want to be giving away good matches for free.
I know, right? And they're like, oh, tune in now to the app. You've seen the first hour. Now tune in. I've
seen the first hour. Probably seen a couple of the best matches in the card.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I just hope that they find a way to get that we get a good. We have to say it over and over, but a good story out of this.
I think the issue a lot of people have with Brock coming back right now is like everybody that got cut and this dude just comes back.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And
was he ever like they put him on the alumni section and on the website and all that? I mean, so again, was this all work? Was this a story concocted by Brock Lesnar? I don't know. I think he really just wanted to be done, and they're like, "Hey, we need you back." I really want to think that that's what went down. I don't think this was concocted from day one that we're gonna play this whole thing out this way. We're giving a lot of
people too much credit.
We're giving too much credit. I think if Paul Heyman maybe could come up with something like that, but I feel like that's a bit over the top to do. I think he was just talked into like, we need you for this pay-per-view. That's what I think.
And one more thing. Now, did you hear WWE wants to rebuild the tag team division?
Jimmy, I wonder why. Did you just fire half the tag division?
Yeah, dude, you just fired half the tag division. And you don't know how to book tag teams anymore. This is my solution. I put this on Jeremy's show, I think, or someplace. I said, the WWE tag team titles, whatever you want to call them, whatever, should be like the women's world tag team titles. That they don't
one set of titles.
One set of titles that can go on all three shows.
Agree, Jimmy.
Combine all the tag teams, one division, put them through all the shows. That's how the tag team division will be built. Especially
now that the pickings are slim. You cut the machine guns. Fraxium's doing nothing. I mean, you got teams.
MFTs are gone.
Ciampa's gone, right? Everybody's gone. The wide six. So if you're telling me why do we have two sets of belt for no tag teams? It makes no sense.
Right. And we're gonna promote guys from within. Great, but then what happens when they don't get over?
Damian Priest and R-Truth are not a real tag team, and they're
No,
the tag champs.
they
So
are
that
not.
tells you right there.
This is like SmackDown circa 2006.
Yeah, and you got Logan Paul and Theory. I get they're a faction, but they were not a tag team.
No.
You know, so do a unification match, have one division, stick to the tag teams that are there. Street Profits should be the champs. New Day are gone, another team gone. So
and it's not like the tag teams are great coming up from NXT.
you know who this is huge for, though? Our boys over at the All Elite Wrestling Company. If you get the New Day, the Machine Guns, and Gargano to join Ciampa, FTR's got 3 teams right there they could fight for the belts. That tag division is going to be loaded with all these teams.
And that tag division is already loaded.
It's already loaded, and you can have more teams coming if they all decide to sign with AEW. I know some guys will probably go to TNA, but if all these guys go to AEW, bam. The one division that we always said was a key component to Dynamite beating NXT on a weekly basis was that tag division.
Tag division, man. Tag division. And speaking
so their benefit.
And apparently rumors are Enzo working at the Performance Center now.
I saw that, and I heard that Big Bill's contract is coming up. Are we gonna get the SAWFT soft? Are we getting a return to that?
Maybe.
Could see that eventually. Talking about tag teams.
They got Double or Nothing this weekend. World title on the line. Darby Allin.
Queens, New York.
MJF. I expect MJF to win the title back.
Oh, absolutely. And I want to see what they do in this Stampede match. Are they going to use the tennis courts? I mean, are we going to?
I would think so. I would hope so. You're in a tennis facility.
Yeah,
I would think you would be using one of the outer courts.
Yeah, Darby's going to jump off something onto a tennis court.
I mean, realistically, if people have not gone to the U.S. Open grounds, like some of the courts are literally next to each other. Like you could throw one guy over into one court and another guy in another court. Like that's how close they are.
Tennis rackets are going to be used. Like I would assume. We saw what they did with the golf course, so let's see what they do with the tennis courts now. I think it's going to be good.
I am looking forward to Double or Nothing.
Now that you said AEW, though, Jimmy, I know you're going to talk about the card. What do you think about our buddy MJF saying bad things about Bret Hart?
I don't like him saying bad things about Bret Hart. I'm not
his
a fan
opinion.
of it. His opinion, but I'm not a fan of it. Don't like it. MJF, he's just another hater. So, no, I was just going to say, just go watch AEW this weekend. If you're not a fan of professional wrestling or you just want something else than WWE, go watch AEW. That's where wrestling happens. And yeah, that's really what I wanted to say. Some good matches. It's going to be great. It always is. So guys, enjoy it. Just enjoy pro wrestling and, join the Nightcap Recap as well, because we're always ahead of the game for the fans and we love you all.
Absolutely. We love all the support. Appreciate you guys watching and listening.
Guys, Nightcap Recap, Special Team Media, Full Press Media up on YouTube, IG as well. Jim Biringer, Teddy Repantis, also up on Spotify. Guys, take care and enjoy.